There's a peculiar kind of sadness that lives in people who miss their childhood too much. You can see it in their eyes when an old cartoon theme song plays, or when they smell rain on pavement and suddenly go quiet. It's not that they want to be children again. It's that the world they grew into no longer feels like something worth growing into. Nostalgia, in psychological terms, is not just sentimentality. It's a defense mechanism dressed as poetry. When reality grows unbearable, too complex, too loud, too meaningless, the psyche reaches backward like a drowning man grasping at the memory of air. Childhood becomes that air, a myth of safety, simplicity, and color, invented by the adult mind as a counterbalance to the dull grey of responsibility. People often say they miss the good old days, but what they're really saying is, I miss when I didn't know how cruel the world could be. Nostalgia, then, isn't love for the past. It's grief for the present. Psychologically speaking, it's fascinating. Memory isn't a recording. It's a reconstruction. The brain edits, censors, rewrites. The past we remember is not history. It's therapy. We remember selectively. The warmth, not the confusion. The laughter, not the loneliness. We airbrush the pain until it becomes innocence. And why not? The unconscious is a brilliant artist. It paints illusion for survival. When the soul is cornered by anxiety or disillusionment, nostalgia becomes its hiding place. Jung might call it a regression to the archetype of the child, a psychic return to the garden before the fall, before consciousness brought guilt, ambition, and the unbearable awareness of mortality. But the thing is that childhood wasn't paradise. It was chaos, sticky fingers, unanswered questions, the slow humiliation of learning what no means. Yet we cling to it because our adult lives have become bureaucracies of the soul. We've traded wonder for Wi-Fi, stories for schedules, magic for meaninglessness. So we go back, not physically, but psychologically. We scroll through old shows, smell old perfumes, revisit hometowns like archaeologists digging up their own ghosts, and for a moment the existential noise quiets. The child still living inside us stretches, smiles, says, I remember this. But nostalgia is a dangerous drug, sweet, soothing, and ultimately deceptive. Stay too long in that mental sepia tone, and you start mistaking regression for healing. The trick isn't to live there, but to visit, to mine the past for its raw material, and bring it forward into the now. The world doesn't get simpler, but perhaps we can remember how to see it with the same openness we once had before we learned to be afraid of it. In a sense, people who romanticize their childhood aren't weak. They're survivors. They've built an emotional time machine to keep the psyche from collapsing under the weight of disillusionment. Nostalgia is not escape. It's medicine, bitter but necessary. Because maybe at the core, all we're really trying to do is convince ourselves that life was once beautiful, so that maybe it could be again.